Right, I've greased the rear spindle, put it in, greased the front spindle. Nice bit of grease on there. Now put this on, and of course with the rear wheel you have to make sure that you put the lock in the right place. So you don't want it being on the same side as the derailleur. So okay, so that's nice and good. Screw it all the way down, make sure all the grease goes through the threads. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, so let's get the tyre on. Like I said earlier, it's a XLC Race X tyre, a Race X made by Schwalbe, and it's a sub company of Schwalbe. It's called Impact. So there we go. Right, so I'll look for the valve hole. It's going to be here somewhere. Right there. Here we go. At the bottom, like that. What am I doing? This way. Okay, so I'll do it this way properly, so I can actually put the tube in. Right. Okay. So I'll put the sidewell over into there. Lie this down. Get it in the tube. Because there's quite a long valve on these, they're massively long. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the valve in as much as we can. We're going to be careful not to trap too much of the tube. Pull it down, and then I've got the lock ring for the valve. Screw that down and make sure that keeps the valve straight on the wheel, so it doesn't move around when you're putting the tyre on. Okay, so tuck the tube in to the tyre. I'm sorry if you know exactly how to do this, and I'm not trying to teach you to suck eggs, but in case somebody's watching that's never done it before, so might be handy for them to know. So okay, so I'm going to put this bit in here, I'm going to hold this, start travelling in. In actual fact, I'm going to start down here. Push the bead into the wheel. So put your knee on there, make sure that your inner tube isn't being trapped when the bead is going in and over onto the wheel itself. So that's pretty good there. Okay, so pushing that in as we're going along. Push that in, and making sure that the tube is in and out of the way. There we go. Right. So the next thing we do is we tap the wheel down, make sure that the tyre is settled and in the wheel, which this isn't at the minute. Right, just for this little bit, sometimes you have to push the tube in and up past the tyre, so the tyre sits in on the wheel. Which this isn't doing at the minute. So it's alright on this side, it's just a little bit of an issue on this side. There we go. Let's have a look. Get a little tyre lever in there. careful here not to pinch the tube. Nope, not working, so gonna have to making sure we don't trap the pinch the tube as we're doing this. You have to lift the tyre, push the valve up. There we go, and that is sitting nicely. So I'll pull the valve back down. Sometimes it's a little bit of a struggle. So what you're doing, you're pushing the valve up, putting the tube up in, pushing the tube up into the tyre, pushing the tyre down onto the wheel, and that is sat nicely. So it's now time to inflate. I'm not going to explain this to you because you've done this 100 times. Most people have done it 100 times before when they were kids, so I'll see you in a minute. Right, that's the wheel on the bike. It's not looking too bad. I'm checking, I've checked them for true. Let's get you in line with this. I've checked the wheel. Oh, let's have a look. To be honest with you, that's pretty good, although it's not quite straight on the forks. It's not bad at all. So yeah, happy with that. Right, see you in a minute. Right, welcome back. So as you can see, we're on the 9th sprocket here, and it's the tension is really nice on the chain, and we've actually taken out 4 links. 1, 2, 3, 4 links away from the chain. So how they used to ride it is beyond me. It was, looking at the derailleur, it was locked out on the stops to not come down to the 9th sprocket. So what I'm thinking is they kept it on 8th to not go down low, so the chain wouldn't drag on the derailleur. That's my guess. I'm not sure, but it's plausible, I think. So yeah, excellent, happy days. So well, yeah, it's been a pretty good round today, and yeah, chuffed with that. I'm going to put some silicone lube on the chain, some 3-in-1, which it'll do for now. I haven't got anything else actually to put on there. Don't really want to put oil on it because it'll stink everywhere, I guess. So what I'm going to do is give this a good old spray in and round across the cassette as well. Try not to get this on the dry chain there. Yeah, dry chain. This should do for now. We've got another section of dry chain. Yes, we have at the top here. So I'll skim past, just take the excess off, and of course you're probably looking at the minute realising that I haven't got pedals. Well, I haven't bought any for it yet, so I need to get sorted. The chain's not looking too bad now actually, but yeah. So right, that's it for this episode. get you back in frame. Yeah, been a pretty successful day today with this. It's been really quite good. So front rear wheels on, beginning to look a bit more like a bike. Front rear calipers, brake calipers have been fitted. Front rear mech, chain, the cranks, seat pin, handlebars have been fitted back. So we're pretty close to finishing it now and getting it back on the road again. So I'm going to end this episode here for today, or for this week. So in the next installment, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting the brake levers onto the handlebars, taping up the handlebars, putting handlebar tape on, getting that done and dusted, and cable up the front and rear brakes and the front and rear mech. Just the brakes, just the front mech, just the rear mech is going to take some adjustment, I think. And basically adjust the seat height. I'm going to borrow the pedals. I might even buy some this evening because it's Sunday evening. Borrow the pedals from the motor, or buy some pedals. I'm not sure. I'll probably end up buying a cheap pair of Shimano SPDs, second hand or something like that. It'll nudge up the cost, but it's, when you consider what I've managed to salvage on this, it's not much of an today. I've made a start. I've already put one brake lever slash gear lever onto the handlebars. I put them onto the highest mark, as where it looks most suitable actually. So yeah, these levers, you're probably familiar with them. For those of you who aren't, obviously you pull them in, that will provide you your brake. And basically you have these, well, you can use these to change your gears. So you're moving the lever in like that, it'll move your front mech up and across onto the big chainring, and to release it, to pop it back down onto this lower gear, you toggle that gear, and that's pretty much it. So it just toggles down, so it moves up and it toggles down, nice and simple. So we're going to fit the right hand side lever, which controls the rear mech, the rear derailleur. So I've already cleaned the handlebars with some. Oh, the battery died. So anyway, I was in the middle of explaining the fact that I've cleaned the handlebars with some thinners. So all the crap has been removed. Handlebars actually looking pretty clean, and ready for tape. So first things first, we're going to install the right hand side lever. Basically with these, what you've got is you've got the clamp that goes on and round onto the handlebar, and then you've got a hexagon or an Allen key and a hex bolt that goes in through there, and you obviously you rotate it to lock it on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on a tripod, and so you can have a look at this, and I'll see you in a minute. Right, welcome back. So once again I forgot to change the function on the camera, and basically I explained to you how to put the brake lever on in time-lapse mode. So basically we've got this band, we've got a screw into here like I mentioned earlier. If you pull this back, you can just see the hole in there right at the edge of my thumb, where you get the you put a 5mm hex into there, and then you close it, obviously rotate it clockwise, and then it pulls this band tight onto the handlebars. So now we've got both of them fitted, beginning to look even more like a usable bike now. So the next job is to get the handlebar tape up. So what I've already done is pull these rubber boots up so we can get the tape in and around these levers. But before I do that, I have to now feed the brake cables They go in to this piece here. There's a ferrule in there, you can't see it, it's too dark. The outer cable and inner cable, they all clip, both go in into there and basically into the top bit of this cable here. I'm going to remove this camera from the tripod because it's knocking everything down. I'll see you in a minute. We've got the brake cables ready to fit, Shimano. I'll either fit Shimano or Jaguar. I wouldn't fit anything else really. I've always been a long time advocate of Shimano on road bikes. And then we've got our handlebar tape here, which I will fit later. So we're going to put the brake cables into the brake mechs levers and tape up with some sellotape the cables onto the handlebar, and yeah, we'll go from there. See you in a minute. Right, welcome back. You're now on the head cam. So the cable kit comprises of one long section of outer cable, one long inner cable for the rear brake, one short cable for the front brake, 4 ferrules that should go on the end of the cables, like so, and 2 cable stoppers. So once you've trimmed the cable off at the caliper, you crimp those on so it stops the cable ends from fraying and sticking into your fingers and thumbs. So another thing you get with brake cables, you get 2 type nipple ends. So you've got basically a kind of a cylindrical one. This basically is for BMX or mountain bikes, and these smaller nipples here, these are for road bikes, a lot smaller as you can see. So mountain bikes, BMX, possibly some races, I'm not quite sure because a lot's changed in the years since I've been fiddling around with them, but this is definitely the one that we need this evening. So basically you've got a short cable and a long cable. Right, let's get the cables together. So you can see this is a short one, so we're going to go with the short cable first. Get that one on there, and we're going to cut this nipple off the end. So one of the things I recommend is that you get a really sharp pair of side cutters for it, a real good quality, and don't hang around when you're doing it, just give it an instant cut like that and you'll get a nice cable end like that. So these ends here, these will go over the cable, and then you crimp them. They've got places to stay. It just leaves the end of the cable looking a lot tidier. So that's our inner cable sorted. So we're going to go into here. As you can see, we've got this rotating unit here. So we're gonna, so they're both ends are the same. So we're gonna actually put this through here and feed it through. Actually, what I'm going to do is, we'll leave that for a minute. Let me just put that there for a minute. We're going to trim our outer. So when you put that on, it'll be the cable will travel through the outer cable, and it won't fray. So basically, what we're going to do is put the cable goes into there. Let's get a torch. Where are we? Right. So it goes into there. Okay, so that is definitely at the end. So you've just got the smallest of holes there for the cable to go through. So excellent. So let's switch the torch off for a minute. I'm going to grab some tape. this will do. What we're going to do is use the tape to hold the cable onto the handlebars, so we need to make sure that's back up and inside onto there. Grab some of this, put that there. Right, double check that this is living in there. Right, it is. Happy days. So we're going to go and tape this cable onto there for now. So I'll be taking this back off in a minute, so there's no issues with that. So now we need to work out a cable run. So look at to the bottom of there. So we're looking at that. So that's going to be our cable, and of course our handlebar tape will comes to around about there where my thumb is wrapping around. So that'll be nice and tidy just there. Right. So let's get this back off. There we go. Throw that on the deck for a minute. Get this off, and then there we go. Right, I am going to trim this. There, I always go a little bit more, and again with this, just go for it. Just go for it. So I have a little tool in here that I use. It's got a really sharp end on there. Put that back on in there and make sure that the hole is clear. We're going to get this outer cable, put this back onto the bench for a minute, grab our inner. So this time around we're going to put some ferrules on the cable ends. So one goes, I believe one goes into the handle, into the stem here. Will it fit? That's the question. No, it doesn't, so we don't need that. Let's have a look. Need three hands at the minute. Right, get that in there. Put that over there. Right, okay, that's just going to fall on the floor. Right, okay, but there we go. Right, let's grab our cable. Hold that there for a minute. Oh, yeah. Right, let's throw that down there. I'm going to turn this all the way there. I just remembered you can do that. Right, let's get the torch again. These things you really do need a third hand. So the cable now, as you can see, is in the outer. Yeah, and of course it's going to stick, isn't it? But never mind, we've gone through the hole, pull that into there. So let's feed this through. Let's feed this through. Okay. Right. Okay, so that is now right at the end. Just do a pull test on it. You can see the cable is pulling through nicely. The nipple is now in position on the mech, or in the lever. So we're going to go feed this through into the caliper, pull that through in there. We're going to need I've just realised we're going to need a chrome ferrule, like so. Let's put that through there. There we go. Right, that there. In fact, there's some gold writing on that. Let's get this. Let's have that. Visible. No, you can't. Okay. Oh. Right. Let's put this back through there. Oh, okay then. So that's not going to fit in there. Oh well, it was worth trying. Not to worry. Not an issue. We'll put the cable in there. So make sure that is in there. That is there. So our cable is ready to go. Just going to check the key nipple in there. Yep, that's good. So we are almost ready to fit the blocks, brake blocks, connect the cable to the caliper and adjust the braking. So what we're going to do now is basically, not like that, so that stays there. Basically what I'm going to do, yeah, that'll fit in there as well. Yeah, okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to swap over to the rear mech and we will fit the rear outer cables and inner cables. So let's have another go with this. So with this side, what I'm going to do actually, I'm going to swap the bike around. Get that there, put that on the laptop. There we go. Oops. Let's swap it round. Put that on there for a minute. I'm going to have to tape these down with some sellotape before I get the bar tape on there, otherwise it's going to be an absolute nightmare to get the bar tape over that. So I'm going to get it as straight as we can and round and out like that. Happy days. Right, let's give this let's give it a tilt. Right, okay. Let's have a look. Let's get the outer cable. Same procedure with this one. Into the handlebar, into the lever even. It'll be coming down there. It's quite frustrating with the handlebars moving around. Right, so there's a hole there somewhere, I swear there is. Where is it? Right, anyway, I'm going to crack on with this one. I'll see you in a bit when it's finished. When this is all, when these are trimmed off, I've cables fed through, both cables through. Ready to fit the blocks. The front is down, ready to lock into the front caliper, brake caliper. Once I've fitted the brake blocks, I've run the rear cable through. That is ready again also to clamp down when this is done and dusted. So I've just fitted this brake block, just close that tight. Done the same with this side. Just gonna check the alignment. I'll lock that one down. That's nice and tight. So hopefully once we get ready for the a rim contact. It should be in a pretty decent place. That's looking pretty good. That is a little high actually. Yeah, still a little bit on the high side. Yeah, that's good. Happy days. Right. Put my screwdriver there. Put that there for a minute. Right. So, I didn't get it. Oh, I forgot actually to paint the caliper, the brake block pads, bolts, skewing bolts. So I'm going to put a little bit of black stuff on there, put a bit of paint on, and just paint it a little bit. I know it's a little bit of a bodge really, but it's just tidies it up. And this is just, it's only a bike to get me to work, so this will do. This will do. Let's have a look here, get it into there. Yeah, there we go. That's tidy. Happy with that. Just to make things a bit tidier, I'm going to chop this cable a bit further down so it's out of the way. So I'm going to do the same with this cable. Just so keeps things a bit tidier. So we're going to go and clamp down now the rear mech. So basically how I go is I'll have it round about there, just off there. Right, so the cable feeds into the slot. You'll see there's a slot there. Cable feeds in there. So I'll get the cable in and right, make sure that is, yeah, we're in there. So get these to there. To start with, I'm only going to give it a little bit of a pinch. So basically the cable's all tightened up. So what I'm going to do now is go back in again, pull that tight there. I'll have to repaint the bolt. So with this I can slacken it or tighten it. And there we have rear brakes. So get this cable out of the way. There we go, that's out of the way now. So we have, just going to check something here for a second, because this is clamping onto there. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I need to centralise the caliper a little bit, I think. There we go. Right, get it back on the bike stand. Oops, didn't take it too far that way. Right, It's now time to get rid of the excess. Get that on the bench. Get this in there. And with these, I'm just going to pinch that a little bit there. And that's it. That's all you need to do. And that's how tidy is that? Excellent. Happy with that. Fill the hole. There's some paint. And there's the rear brake sorted out. Excellent. So now let's do the same with the front end. So what we're going to do is I'm going to swing, grab the stand out a little bit and rotate this a little more. Saves me taking the whole bike away from me. There we go. Right then, so just clamp that down a little bit. Okay, so yeah, we got rear brakes. I'll have to redo these, get that down a little bit slower. But anyway, so now I'll pull that down, make sure it's all there. So we're going to put the I need to make sure that this tyre is rotating the right direction, because at the minute it's definitely isn't. And I'll change the spindle around. But anyway, right, okay. So let's get the brake blocks on. And of course, with these, they are sided. You've got the right and left sides on these. So we got right. And we got left. So, okay. Let's get that there for a minute. Right. There we go. Right, make sure we can get onto these bolts. Right, okay. Left. Okay, let's get that one on first. Okay. It's very important to get these right, because obviously the wheel will be turning that way, even though the direction of the tyre is completely wrong. So what is happening is the wheel is turning, is coming in. Any water that's on the braking surface comes and hits the grooves, and then is dispelled normally down and away from the braking surface. So it's very important to get them sat in the right place. So I'll just snip that down a little bit, finger and thumb, really lightly. Take this one off. Nope, there we go. Hold on a minute. Butterfingers. Just get the cable out of the way for a minute. There we go. Right. Okay, so just going to get this lever out of the way. Oh, what this does is release the caliper, the cable, slackens the caliper, so we can get the wheel on and off. So I'm going to clamp that. Okay, so that needs to go up a little bit. So what we'll do is clamp that for a minute. Oop. Yeah, that's looking pretty good there. Now look at this one. Get the cable out of the way. Make sure we put that back, because if you try and adjust your brakes with that in the wrong place, you're having issues. Right, let's have a look. There we go. Right, so scan. Right, so that's there. It's supposed to go all the way down there. did this earlier on actually. Never mind, I'll do that in a minute. Let's sort the brakes out. I think it should be living around about nope, way too high. A pretty crap shot that actually. Right, I'll close that there. Oops. Oh, too low. Too high. Yeah, near enough. So isn't this behaving itself? This washer. Ah, right, okay, so what's happening is, yeah, it wouldn't go past the caliper arm. There we go, right. I wish this would fucking stay. Right, stay there. Yep, that would be too tight for that. Right, let's get this undone. And again, it fits into the channel. We've got to go just off finger and thumb. So we're going to go to there, just a little bit off. So I'll give it a good stretch, because what happens initially is it slackens off, everything seats in, so you slacken it off and close it off again. Bearing sounds a bit shite on this, but there's no play in it. Right, similar travel, front and rear brakes. So that's the brake sorted out. That's the brake sorted out. Right then, so we'll shuffle a few things around and I'll see you in a minute. Welcome back everyone, and I'm saddened to say that all the footage that I took of setting up the gear cables in the levers, fitting the bar tape, I've just reviewed the footage I took on the computer, and it's really bad. The audio's okay, but the whole image is scrolled with green and purples. You can't see a thing basically. It's all trashed, and unfortunately I can't redo it, because it's all done basically. The bike is finished. So yeah, bitterly disappointed, and not for the first time with this camera. If anybody's thinking about using a GoPro to vlog like this, I would seriously urge you to consider buying something better than this, because it's completely and utterly shite. The amount of footage I've lost or imperfect with this camera is unreal in the past time that I've been doing this vlogging in the garage. It's absolutely crap. I will never buy another one to vlog. In-car footage and stuff, yeah, that's fine, but it's just not designed for this. It's rubbish. It's totally crap. But anyway, the bike is finished. I'm pretty happy with it, really. All told, it's scrubbed up pretty well for a piece of shit, which it really was when I collected it from the property where it was for sale, when it was lying in the grass, completely abandoned and pretty much worthless to those who owned it. So yeah, let's just get it down and on the ground. Let's get it against the wall here and take some footage of it. The rear Mac I don't think is the best. It's been bashed around. It's not really that brilliant. Temptation is to change that, to be honest, and go for something a little better suited. I mean, the cage is absolutely huge on it, and there's something not quite right with it. The gauge changes are pretty sketchy, would be the best word to describe it. But yeah, generally, as it stands, it's good enough for me to ride it to work when I sort out some pedals for it. But yeah, it'll do for the time being while I get out sort out a decent rear mech for it. Yeah, it looks pretty good next to the motor, although this thing is on a whole different planet, and it should be really, you know, considering the spec of the bike. But yeah, this will do. This will do me to get me to work and all that jazz. So yeah, £82 bike. I can't complain. The wheels are pretty straight. I've had to tweak a spoke here and there, which I also had on the footage that was recorded, but sadly is just completely and utterly unusable other than the audio, which is useless without the video. So yeah, happy days. Project's over for this one. I have, however, got I've got some more retro goodness turning up this week. So it's not 4 wheels, it's 2 wheels. So I'll let you guess what it might be. So next week I'm going to be doing a bit of a reveal on it. Yeah, if you think you know what it is, what it might be, leave a comment below the video screen, and just yeah, if you know what it is, if you can guess properly what it is, then I'll announce who was right on the next video. So so for this episode, thank you for watching. I hope you found this interesting, and that you can resurrect something that seems that cannot be resurrected anymore with a bit of time, effort and elbow grease. So thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It will help the channel out quite substantially. If you like the video, give it a like, and I'll see you next week. Stay safe, everyone. Take care.